Did you know that every year, vehicle failures lead to thousands of accidents and leave countless drivers stranded? While we often worry about major components like the engine or transmission, sometimes the smallest, most overlooked parts can cause the biggest headaches. One such culprit is the fuel pump relay, a tiny electrical switch that plays a colossal role in your car's ability to run. When it fails, it can trigger a cascade of problems, from frustrating to downright dangerous. But here's the good news. Understanding the warning signs can save you from costly repairs and the nightmare of being stuck on the side of the road. Before you find yourself in that situation, let's explore the 11 telltale symptoms of a failing fuel pump relay. We'll start with the more subtle clues and work our way to the most severe, helping you become a more informed and proactive car owner. Plus, stick around to the end and we'll reveal a simple way to diagnose and even fix this issue yourself. The unsung hero. What is a fuel pump relay? Everyone's heard of the fuel pump, the workhorse that sends gasoline from the tank to the engine. But what about its trusty sidekick, the fuel pump relay? Think of the relay as the gatekeeper of your car's fuel supply. It's a small electromagnetic switch that tells the fuel pump when to turn on and off. When you turn the key in the ignition, the car's computer sends a small electrical signal to the relay. This signal activates an electromagnet inside the relay, which then closes a circuit, allowing a much larger flow of electricity to power up the fuel pump. This ensures your engine gets the steady stream of fuel it needs to run smoothly. Fuel is the lifeblood of your car, and if the relay isn't doing its job correctly, your vehicle will suffer from a range of serious issues. 1. The engine cranks but refuses to start. One of the most common and frustrating signs of a bad fuel pump relay is when your car's engine turns over but just won't fire up. You'll hear the familiar "rrrr" of the starter trying to do its job, but the engine never roars to life. This is different from a dead battery, where you might only hear a clicking sound or nothing at all. A faulty relay that's stuck in the open position prevents electricity from reaching the fuel pump. No power to the pump means no fuel is being sent to the engine. Without that essential ingredient, combustion can't happen, and your car is essentially a very heavy paperweight. It might take several tries to get it started, or it might not start at all, leaving you with a puzzle to solve. 2. Your car is guzzling gas. A failing fuel pump relay can be erratic. It might not be completely broken, but instead it could be sending inconsistent power to the fuel pump. This can cause the pump to work overtime or not enough. If the relay is causing the pump to deliver too much fuel, your engine will run rich, meaning there's more fuel than air in the combustion chamber. This excess fuel doesn't burn efficiently and is wasted, leading to a noticeable drop in your gas mileage. If you find yourself making more frequent trips to the gas station without any change in your driving habits, a faulty relay could be the secret sipper. 3. The dreaded check engine light appears. That little illuminated engine symbol on your dashboard is your car's way of telling you something is amiss. While it can light up for a multitude of reasons, a bad fuel pump relay can be a specific trigger. If you have an OBD2 scanner, a handy tool for any car owner, you might find the error code P0230. This code specifically points to a low voltage issue in the power circuit of the fuel pump. While this could also indicate a problem with the fuel pump itself, the relay is a common and much cheaper component to check first. 4. A buzzing sound that won't quit. Normally, when you turn your car off, everything should go silent. However, a faulty fuel pump relay can sometimes get stuck in the closed position. When this happens, it continuously sends power to the fuel pump, even when the engine isn't running. You might hear a distinct humming or buzzing sound coming from the area of your fuel tank after you've shut your car off. This constant operation of the fuel pump will not only drain your battery, leaving you unable to start your car later, but it can also lead to premature wear and tear on the fuel pump itself. 5. The sound of silence from the fuel pump. On the flip side of a continuously running fuel pump is one that doesn't make any noise at all. When you turn your ignition to the on position, without starting the engine, you should typically hear a faint 2-second hum from the back of the car as the fuel pump primes the system. If you hear nothing, even when you put your ear close to the fuel tank, it's a strong indicator that the fuel pump isn't receiving power. This silence often points directly to a failed relay that is stuck open, cutting off the electrical supply. 6. Failing your emissions test. If your car is scheduled for an emissions test, a bad fuel pump relay could be the reason you don't pass. When the relay causes the fuel pump to send too much fuel to the engine, it creates a rich running condition. This means not all of the fuel is burned during combustion. The unburned fuel then travels through the exhaust system, leading to higher levels of harmful emissions. A telltale sign of this can be the smell of rotten eggs or gasoline coming from your exhaust pipe. An emissions failure can be a costly and time-consuming problem to fix, so addressing the root cause is crucial. 7. Shaky and rough idling. When your car is stopped at a light or parked with the engine on, it should idle smoothly. If you notice your car vibrating or shaking, it could be due to an inconsistent fuel supply caused by a faulty relay. The relay may be struggling to maintain a closed connection, causing the fuel pump to deliver fuel erratically. This throws off the delicate air-to-fuel ratio that the engine needs to run smoothly at low RPMs. While many things can cause rough idling, it's an important symptom to consider in the context of other fuel-related issues. 8. A lack of power when you need it most. You're trying to merge onto the highway or accelerate from a stop, but your car feels sluggish and unresponsive. This lack of power is a serious symptom of a failing fuel pump relay. When you accelerate, your engine demands more fuel. If the relay isn't providing a steady and sufficient flow of electricity to the fuel pump, the pump can't keep up with the demand. This fuel starvation directly impacts the combustion process, resulting in poor acceleration. Ignoring this can lead to more dangerous situations on the road. 9. The unsettling experience of an engine misfire. An engine misfire occurs when one or more of your engine cylinders fails to produce power. A struggling fuel pump relay that causes an inconsistent fuel supply is a common culprit. If a cylinder doesn't get the right amount of fuel at the right time, the spark plug can't ignite the air-fuel mixture, and the cylinder misfires. This can feel like a sudden jolt or shudder from the engine. While a single misfire might just be an annoyance, frequent misfires can be dangerous, especially when you're trying to accelerate or overtake another vehicle. 10. Unpredictable engine surges. Similar to misfires, an inconsistent fuel supply from a failing relay can also cause your engine to surge. You might be driving at a steady speed when your car suddenly accelerates on its own for a moment. This happens when the faulty relay intermittently sends a burst of power to the fuel pump, causing a temporary increase in fuel flow to the engine. Unintended acceleration is a serious safety hazard, and if you experience this, you should pull over as soon as it's safe to do so and have your vehicle inspected immediately. 11. The danger of an engine stall. Perhaps the most dangerous symptom of a bad fuel pump relay is engine stalling. This can happen when you're idling at a stoplight or, more alarmingly, while you're driving. An inconsistent supply of fuel, whether it's too much or too little, can cause your engine to shut off completely. A stall while driving can lead to a loss of power steering and power brakes, making it difficult to control your vehicle and increasing the risk of an accident. If your car stalls, it's a clear sign that immediate attention is needed. How to check if the fuel pump relay is the problem. Before you rush to a mechanic and potentially spend a significant amount of money replacing your entire fuel pump, there's a simple way to check if the relay is the true culprit. First, locate your car's fuse box, which is usually in the engine bay. Inside the lid of the fuse box, you'll find a diagram that shows you where the fuel pump relay is located. Visually inspect the relay. If you see any signs of burning, corrosion, or physical damage, it's a clear indication that it needs to be replaced. A new relay is an inexpensive part, often costing around $20. If the relay looks fine, you can perform a simple swap test. Find another relay in the fuse box with the same part number, often for something non-essential like the horn or air conditioning, and swap it with the fuel pump relay. If your car starts and runs properly with the swapped relay, you have found your problem. For a more definitive test, you can use a digital multimeter set to the continuity setting. With the relay removed, touch one lead to one of the power circuit pins and the other lead to the second power terminal. If the multimeter beeps, it means the power pins have shorted out and the relay needs to be replaced. By paying attention to these warning signs and knowing how to perform a simple diagnosis, you can catch a failing fuel pump relay before it leaves you in a lurch. Taking a few minutes to investigate can save you from a major headache and keep you and your